Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. It's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white. It's always something pure, high, and clean. But I want to get the language right. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will proud. Yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it all. Yeah. What? Come on. Yeah. Check it out one time for the Here's the tune about the funny name Renee. Here's the tune about the funny name Renee. This is a journey into sound. This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimensions, new value. When all is ready, I throw this switch. Pop up the volume, pop up the volume. We interrupt this broadcast for you a special news bulletin from our on-the-spot passport. Oh my God! Good evening, America. This is your president. Please listen carefully to the announcement I'm about to make. After careful consideration and research, Vice President Duke, Congress, and myself have concluded that black people have not advanced technologically. Their educational testing scores are on a rapid decline. The vast majority of them are on welfare and producing babies at a faster rate than they can support them, and we will not carry them anymore. We are left with no other choice but to put slavery back into effect. All blacks will report to the designated camps in their area to receive further orders. The only blacks excused will be those serving in the United States military and the police. Any blacks who do not cooperate will be terminated immediately. I repeat, slavery. Hey, world, the world is yours. Hey, world, the world is yours. Young world, the world is yours. Hey, world, the world is yours. Hey, world, the world is yours. Young world, the world is yours. Young people are so special. It's so good, but God bless you. Death to unethical thoughts that suppress you. Like diseases, they conjure up inside a test tube to stress you. Bureaucratic genocide, but maybe I'm a recluse. It's just my observation as a whole. Human extermination, population control. Assuming my generation is young and out of control. But y'all don't understand that y'all out of touch in your own. I promise to stay full. Try to stay on course and right the wrongs of my father with my baby boy. Life is all the promises don't go away when ignored. Life is long, it's important that it's playing the sport. Every skyscraper you see started off with a thought. And Ricky Warren told me, yo, the world could be yours. So hey, young world. Yeah, hey, young world. Yeah, the world is yours. Hey, young world. The world is yours. Hey, young world. The world is yours. Young world, the world is yours. Hey, young world. The world is yours. Hey, young world. The world is yours. Young world, the world is yours. You could have been arrested, not dead, doing 10 on offenses, but you home, so you know you blessed, kid. Trust me, I know some people who are not as lucky. It's on a small drug beat for 15 years. It must be. Conspiracies, the killer see, no living free of justice. Congress talk nonsense. It's retirement for a hustler. There's no 401k retirement for a hustler. It's one way until death. Who die young is bum luck. Young bruh, tell me why you want war. So the gun for whoever come forth with tough talk, they done off. The York City streets, they carry the worst gun law. But still it's real, we do it with tools. The unguard, undone, the cold, and the hoods play your role. Maybe you live with your own. Kids and a wife and household. Slow the roll before you know the jet from your body. Turn cold, take advice, yo. Take the higher roll. Hey, young world. Yeah, hey, young world. Yeah, hey, young world. The world is yours. Hey, young world. The world is yours. Young world, young world. The world is yours. Hey, young world. The world is yours. Hey, young world. The world is yours. Young world, young world. The world is yours. Wouldn't you be surprised, brother, if you woke up and found out that this is the only life that you have and you are throwing it away? This kind of thinking that black folk have and poor folk have makes any ruling power think it continues an oppressive rule over the people. Yeah. Story of OJ. No, we not talking about OJ. We talking about the white man that thinks he say it's okay. We are now talking about story of OJ. No, we not talking about OJ. We talking about the white man that thinks he say it's okay. He was allowed to rule for 6,000 years. Look, we took our people but no longer call it me. We said go free out the past another 13. We took our shockers but by them we couldn't see. No more picking cotton but there were things we couldn't see. Sending yourself away from the only life you got. And white folk know that this is the only life you got. And they're feeding you death day in and day out. And you sitting around waiting on a mystery God to pop down from the sky and make life better for you. Say they released the black hole, replaced it with the black hole, then destroyed our black moons, replaced it with the black hole. Some say they in my lane, cause this a lane that get cold. There's no God but Allah, so this is shit I can't hold. Story of OJ, nah, we not talking about OJ. We talking about the white man and they say it's okay. Some of you Muslims are ashamed with God. Story of OJ, nah, we not talking about OJ. We talking about the white man and they say it's okay. You're the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and won't get up and go to work and make a better life for yourself. You still working 9 to 5 for your open enemy and wondering why you're not making progress. You can never make progress working for somebody else. You can only make progress if you're willing to work for yourself. Okay, let's travel back in time. The 13 in slavery, cause any little crime. And the black folks got stand up for any little time. Be a farmer or a servant, open his mind. Open up and open up. Open up your mind. Get clean, got deep, take this and rewind.
Family, welcome to the Rundown with Ken. I'm your hostess, Renee, and we back tonight. Been gone maybe for a little minute, but we're back tonight. We got a great show tonight coming up, a great guest tonight. In fact, that was him in that last that I played there, the story of OJ, but he remixed it, the Brother Ben X remix. And so if you're not aware of Brother Ben X, just stay tuned. This is a young brother, part of the Nation of Islam, but the brother's doing so many things. I was like, wow, I'm just really taken aback. And so we really need to speak to a lot of our younger family and, you know, really pick their brain and figure out some of the things that are going on with our young people, how we can reach them, you know, what he sees going on today, because he brings a lot of solutions on his channel. He has a lot of deep thought on his channel. That's how I came across him on YouTube. And I will say that, man, it was something else I was going to answer that, but it'll come to me. But for right now, let me go to my brother Psycho that's on the line. Peace, Psycho. How you doing?
Peace, Renee. What's going on?
Hey, you know, another day, another dime.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you already know.
In the hell of North America.
Yeah. Apologize for not being on last Tuesday night. Everybody, you know, some things came up, but we on tonight. Should be a good show. Make sure everybody check out the stream. If you didn't know, we're streaming on YouTube on my channel, SYKOPATHeist. That's SYKOPATHEIST, SYKOPATHeist. But yeah, it should be a good show tonight, Renee.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, cool. Family, if you know, y'all out there, please share the show if you can on your social media. Let me get back to, because I want to bring in my sister Nikki, and then we're gonna get into the show, and I'll bring in Brother Bennett. Let me see here what's going on. All right. Let me get Nikki, press 1 if that's you, just so I can make sure. And if you want to come in. Okay, so while I'm waiting on her to do that. But yeah, family, so we got a really great show coming up tonight. We're going to get into a lot of different things, you know, a lot of current events and things going on. And this brother, he did a video, and it was kind of like somewhat a skit. But this brother's so talented, and he did it basically by himself. And we're going to get into that because I want him to break that down. It's on his across the on But can you let the family who may be unfamiliar, let them know a little bit about you and who you are and what you do?
I'm just a brother who came into the Nation of Islam and found the love for my people and began, posting things that I felt could give life to the dead. On all of my bios, my mission is basically to give life to the dead, whether it's from me or from someone else, just trying to give as much information as I can to bring change and action within our people because, we say we kings and queens, but we have to make change and, be able to change our own conditions. I had a YouTube channel I had it now for about 7 years, but for the past 3 years, I had kind of like a news channel to where I cover different events that goes on and speak out against police brutality and things of that nature. And at the end of every video, try to give a lesson or a solution to the problem. I got big on Facebook because a lot of the videos, short clips that I post, kind of went viral. I have like over 100 million views on Facebook, and my Instagram is growing now. But I'm just a brother, just to make it short, just a brother just trying to do what he got to do to make change in the people.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. Also, let me let you know, just so you know, I have Brother Psycho on here with me co-hosting, and also Sister Nikki is on here as well. So, if somebody else asks you a question, Okay, well, there's so many things I want to kind of, pick your brain about tonight. Like I was saying earlier, you're a young brother. I see you out here doing a lot of work, giving a lot of powerful information and solutions. Because I do want to get the solutions tonight. Because, people always say we talk a lot about the issues, but what are solutions? But we definitely do need to address the issues as well. So I kind of want to start from there. And like I said, with you being a young brother. And let me say this first. I saw the video you did called My Parents Hate Me. If you have not saw that video, please, I'm going to put it on my page, family, if you're my Facebook friend. That video, I'm going to be very honest with you. I had a couple little teardrops. Honestly, it was like it touched me that much. And I was like, wow, because to me, with you being so young and so intelligent, it's like you could kind of bridge that gap between the parents and the youth and kind of getting each other to understand, but to let the youth know, why your parents may be, kind of strict or kind of, may hold you back, you feel, from doing a lot of things. Tell me about that particular video and what made you want to do that video, because it's very powerful.
I don't know what made me do it. I don't know, because a lot of times when I do those little skits, it's just I may be reading something on my timeline and do something that inspires. But sometimes that didn't actually happen all the way to me, but it happened a little bit. Like I couldn't go to certain parties and things of that nature. Now I understood why. Then of course I got mad, different things of that nature. So, but I know other people who don't appreciate their parents or think that they're just strict and mean or don't love them because of that. And I may have just been scrolling down my timeline and seeing some about it, but I wanted to put some out there from a younger perspective, because if I was older, or if an older person would have made a video like that, it would have just been like, oh, that's just an old person. So I thought it was very important for us to, for me to do it, because I'm a part of the youth. And a lot of times, man, we out here, we smoking and we drinking and we doing all these different things at a young age, and a lot, and we don't know the damage that they can do. So a lot of the people who are so-called, what you would be called in high school, lame, who can't go to the party, who can't smoke, who can't drink, a lot of them are mad at their parents, but they should really be loving them. I grew up playing basketball, and the coach always told me, if I ain't saying nothing to you, that means I don't really care nothing about you. If I'm not on you, if I'm not yelling at you, if I'm not being strict, then I really don't care where you go. So I think it's very important for us to understand that the parents don't necessarily hate us. It's just that, hey, man, look, they probably live that lifestyle, or they know the route that you going, or the route that you finna go, and they just trying to save you. It's kind of like when your mama or your daddy say, "Hey man, I don't want you hanging around there," and to you that's just your homeboy, your homegirl. You like, man, mama just tripping, but then you find out years down the road that, hey man, that person wasn't the right person to be hanging with. So a lot of times, man, they just trying to save us from certain things, and we can't see that. And I think it was important for me to say it with me being a part of you.
Wow, okay. Beautiful. And let me, I guess, kind of back up a little bit. I mentioned at the beginning of the show that you are in the Nation of Islam. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, were you raised in the nation, or, you know, did you come about an awakening of sorts?
Yeah, I was actually, I started off just want to be a basketball player for the rest of my life. So I was actually in college pursuing my basketball dream, and a brother came and spoke in my school about the roles of the male and the female. And I knew that's how it was supposed to be. I didn't see that growing up, but I knew the man was supposed to be the provider. You know, the woman can work if she wants to, but the man is the one, you know, who's really providing and doing this thing. So I asked him to be my mentor, and he started coming out to my games, you know, taking me out to eat. He started giving me advice and mentorship on the businesses that I want to run and things of that nature. So he became my real brother. And then I went to the study groups that we have every week. And, I mean, it was pretty much it from there. And then when I looked on YouTube and typed in the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan and typed in any problem, any scripture that I didn't understand before, he was basically breaking everything down and making everything plain for me. So that was another thing. And the main thing was when I came in, he said, ask any question that you want. Because growing up in church under Christianity or any other religion, they say don't question God. Or, you know, even though you're not questioning God, you question that person. But because they ain't studying and they're not living it, they're going to tell you don't doubt God or don't question God, but you actually questioning them. So when I came into the nation, they would say, man, any question that you have, ask. If I can't have the answer, that don't mean, you know, nothing. I can go find the answer. Because if God's supposed to be all-knowing, then he's the one who's supposed to have the answer. It said, ask and you shall receive. So that was one of the things that attracted me, and not just that, but it was a program. You know, every Monday you got men's class. On Saturdays you got the sisters class where you learn how to be a real man. You learn how to be a real brother. You learn how to be a real husband, but you can't learn those kind of things in school. How to be a husband, how to take care of your wife, how to take care of your children. So it's a program on how to build really the black man up, and those who follow it, usually the ones that I saw have been successful. And that's a lot of people who join the nation and say, yeah, I used to be in the nation, but they didn't necessarily follow it. They just raised their hand. That's the religion part. You just hide behind the organization, or you hide behind a religion. But those who actually follow the teachings, I've seen them go from where they was to where they at right now, and where they at right now is success. So that's what attracted me.
Beautiful. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Oh, family, let me give you the call-in number if you will have any, or if you have any questions for Brother Ben X. The call-in number is hold on, I'm looking at the wrong number, 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058, and press 1 for question or comment. And as per usual, you can also go to youtube.com/SYKOPATHeist, SYKOPATHEIST, and listen, chat, what have you. Okay. So let's go here with it, because I have so many, you know, different topics I kind of want to see your perspective on, you know, with current events and different things happening in the community. But I just want to touch on this first, because I heard you saying as far as, you know, coming up, especially in the black, you know, Christian church or what have you, you're told not to question God. What's your feelings on the black church as it stands today?
I don't know, because I haven't been in a while. There's actually some pastors who I believe are teaching the right thing, but I think there's a lot of them who are still teaching that there's a spook God, and you know, you just wait on God and he'll fix everything, and they're not teaching about the God within. I think we would well, we'll be justified in judging the church based on the members of the church. A lot of times, the people who are in the church, they've been in the same condition for 40 or 50 years, and in the same neighborhood, in the same health condition, and things of that nature. So I don't really have an opinion on it because I haven't been there, and I don't know what they are currently teaching. But from the people that I do know that are still going to church, it seems like they're still preaching that if we just wait on God or we just wait on Jesus, things would change, and that's just not true. There's no Jesus coming back to save us from 2,000 years ago, and I don't believe there's a sky daddy in the sky that's just going to sprinkle some water down or make things change. I think it's the God within, it's the force and power within that's going to make things change for us. But I know there are some churches that, are preaching that God is within, that when you make that prayer, you're praying to yourself, reaffirming what you believe in, reaffirming what you want to do. So I don't know. I can't give a real critique on that because I haven't been.
Okay. I respect that 100%. Okay, so kind of I want to start here again, kind of on the same line. What is your perspective? What do you think about the Black community in general today? Collectively. What do you feel about our condition?
It's kind of half and half. I think of course, many people still sleep, but I do think there's a great amount of us that are starting to wake up. Just when I make certain posts, I like to ask a lot of questions just to see how people are. Like, for example, I made a post the other day about what do they think heaven is. A lot of them say it right here on earth. A lot of them say it right in your mind, and that's correct. And so it's a lot of them that are waking up. But the thing is, I think those of us who are waking up and who have the knowledge have to be more examples. I even seen a brother. I did a YouTube little live stream. A brother was from the hood, still talking from the hood, but he was talking about making change, how we need to wake up. When I go door to door, it's a lot of people that's already on the knowledge. They may be still living that lifestyle, but at least they know. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you never have to condemn a dirty glass, just put a clean one next to it. So those of us who are conscious, those of us who are so-called woken up, we have to be the examples for those who aren't woken up yet. And I think once they see that example in us, see that we actually can be successful without selling out, and I think everybody will come back around. I was interviewing a brother from the hood not too long ago, and he was like, you can tell Black people want to change because when Black people started going to the NFL being successful, everybody wants to be athletes. When people start rapping and they being successful, everybody want to be a rapper. Everybody want to be a basketball player. So everybody is swaying basically on whatever is successful. So if we're able to show that, hey man, we can love our people, we can speak out against white supremacy, we can have our own businesses, and I'm going to show you how to do this and show you this the right way. Because right now we get mad because they got the sagging pants and they pimping women and things of that nature, but that's what they seeing being successful on TV. They seeing Lil Wayne them, they seeing Black youngsters them, they seeing them successful, they seeing them have power and dominion. Because naturally we want to be gods. We want to be able to control our condition. We want to be able to do whatever we want to do. So if I want to buy my mama a house, I can do that. If I want to get a new car, I can do that. But as the conscious so-called community or whatever, we working up there. But if more of us showed how, look, I can put my mom in a better position. Look how long I'm living by the way I'm eating. Look at the people I'm able to employ by the Black business. That'll be attracted to them, and they'll want to be more conscious. They'll want to start a business instead of trapping and things of that nature. Because a lot of them, I've interviewed some of them, they said they don't want to do that. That's just the only way they know. So we got to be the examples, and I think the Black community is going to be determined on those who are conscious in the Black community. And once we, instead of just being conscious, move from consciousness to actually being, action people, to where we moving and making things happen, then I think it'll grow. But it starts with the thought, though. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So that's the first thing. At least we're getting our thoughts together. At least we're becoming more conscious. And the more people that start to act, then I think everybody will come around.
Beautiful. Okay, so you mentioned the big Fifi, which is the conscious community. It's a lot of things out there being said about, the so-called conscious community or what have you. And I actually saw that you had just recently put up a video, and I don't even want to mention this person's name, so I'm not even going to say their name, but and you were kind of talking about, I saw the title was about, I guess, Black people being, the term Black, I guess, as a people. I guess it's kind of a two-part question. Well, let me start with this. What is your thoughts, or what's your perspective then on the current conscious community? And I'll kind of define that as you can call it the online conscious community, which is what a lot of people, see as far as the different videos and things on YouTube, on some of the social media. And then some people may know outside of that different organizations that are in the community. But what do you think on the status or condition of the conscious community right now?
I think it's good. It's better than us getting on talking about foolishness. At least we're trying to get down to the truth. So anytime you're trying to get down to the truth, I'm with that. The only thing that I don't like is the ego thing. If I'm a Hebrew Israelite, then everybody got to be called Israelite, or y'all wrong. If I'm a Moor, then hey man, we all Moors. You need to stop saying black, we white. So we need to understand different people's perspective. If I'm a Moor and a brother says black, I can't keep saying every time you say black, nah, brother, we white, because according to the law, according to the Black Dictionary, it says you got to understand from his standpoint, from his perspective, he's not saying black is the nationality. He's not saying black is our race, or black is the complexion of your skin. He may be saying black is original, because every color comes from black. He may just say, hey, we the original people. So what we do is we have these egos, man, and we think just because I'm learning whatever I'm learning, that if you're not with what I'm learning, then you're wrong. But I do like the fact that, we're at least trying to get down to the truth. We're trying to find out which truth or which philosophy or which way can really free our people. But I think if we come together, then we can move a little bit faster. So I like that there is a conscious community that's actually engaging and finding the truth, but we just have to pretty much nurture it. So if you're more, okay, brother, you bring the law and talk about how we can build our own government. If you're a Christian, bring some of those Bible scriptures about loving your brother, about fighting with those who fight with you. If you're in the Quran, the Bible says eye for eye, tooth for tooth, life for life. And yeah, it says love your enemies, but that don't mean your open enemies. So if you bring the right interpretation, we can use that. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, you're talking about the law, okay, bring the law of God, as long as it can help everybody. So I think that's what we need to do, see how we can bring whatever we believe in, or whatever we're following, and see how it can benefit the whole, because we're looking for uniform. See, Brother Nuri said uniform is when everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody got on the boat, everybody got on this, everybody got on that. But unity is everybody got their one unit. So you got their one unit, you got your one unit, you got your one unit, and once you bring all these units together, now we got unity. So I think that's what we need to do in the conscious community. Instead of saying, I'm right and you wrong, we just say, hey man, what can we agree on? And then whatever we can agree on, let's bring that together and use this to uplift the people.
Yes. 100%. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'll get this call, I think, on the line. And so I want to ask you then, I want to talk a little bit about the youth. Because, like I said, you did that video, which I thought was amazing. You speak a lot about the youth. Where do you think is the disconnect from, some of the older generation to the youth, even the millennials, as they call it? Where do you think is that disconnect? And do you think that the elders drop the ball and just in general, or no? It's just everybody has to every generation has to do for self. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not an elder, so I wouldn't be able to know. But the minister said they dropped the ball. As a whole, because what we're supposed to be doing is preparing for our children. You know, I'm not supposed to be just grinding for Brother Ben X. I'm supposed to be grinding for somebody when I die. So I'm not supposed to be just trying to get good grades, go to school, get a good job, then retire, then tell my son, look, man, that's just how it is, bro. You got to work. This is life. No, I'm supposed to be sacrificing my time and grinding, trying to build up a business. Therefore, when he comes up, then, you know, he ain't got to worry about all that. Now, of course, I'm not going to spoil him, but I'm going to make him work. It's going to be already there. Kind of like God. The food is already here for us. It's in the ground. All we got to do is work for it to get it. But the point is, he already prepared it for us. It's already there. We just got to work for it. So when you look into the white communities, they already got systems set up. Or they already got things set up so their son can just step into it. So I think we just got to put in more work. See, a lot of times, man, people criticize the minister saying, oh, he been saying this since 1995 and things of that nature. A lot of old people try to criticize. But, hey, man, at the 1995 Million Man March, he said we need to build businesses. We need to go back in the tone. We need to try to build hospitals and things of that nature. See, if they would have did that in 1995, then we could have came up and could have stepped into those businesses. So now we ain't got to spend time trying to work all these 9 to 5 and build up other people's businesses. So, but it's a lot of them trying to, you know, step back and give the knowledge. Like Chanel the TV, you know, he'll stand out on the street on 125th Street and he'll talk to the youth about white Jesus, or he'll talk to the youth about what they need to do, or he'll have a conference on health. So at least they're trying to give the knowledge back, and that's good. Because what the knowledge does is it does nothing new under the sun. Now the things that they messed up on, or the things they didn't do, now they can get that knowledge so we can do it a little faster. Or whatever they messed up on, we ain't got to mess up on that because we already learned from their mistakes. So I think it's half and half. It's a lot of things they could have done, but there's also a lot of things we can be doing that we're not doing. So I think it's 50-50. You know, they're trying to get the knowledge back. You look at Dr. Sebi, you look at the minister, you look at Dr. Umar, a lot of them trying to give knowledge back. We just got to take it and use it. Now, you know, like I said, there's a lot of things they could have done. A lot of business could have been, you know, started, and things of that nature, whatever they could have done. But, you know, they're trying to give it back to where we can have a good start.
Yeah, definitely. And with I don't know if you've heard of this brother by the name. I think it's Bonk or Boink. But it's a young. I'm sorry.
Bonk, the dude who does those things where he just steals stuff.
Yes. Okay, I wanted to ask you about him because, you know, social media is definitely popping. Social media, you know, I think they say, you know, Black folks spend more time on social media than anyone. And that young brother, he went and for those of y'all who don't know, this young brother would go into places like Dunkin' Donuts, and he would take like jump over the counter, okay? Take like a whole rack of donuts, stand up on the counter, and do all kind of things like that. And I guess he got away with it for a little minute, but his whole thing was uploading the videos. And of course, they will go viral, of course, you know, then it's people egging him on or what have you. I think he ended up getting probably arrested a couple of times. And I think now I'm not sure what his consequence is, but I wanted to ask you, when it comes to the youth, Black youth, and it comes to social media, where do you see this going? You know, because even though, you know, this has been around for a little while now, some of the things you're seeing, though, seem like they're getting increasingly, you know, crazy and wilder, and people are trying to go to further degrees to get, you know, more attention, more views, more likes, more clicks. Where do you see with our young people in social media? What's your assessment on that, and where do you see this going?
I think I see it going as far down as we let it go. I think a lot of those brothers and sisters who do it because we laugh at it. If we find it funny, if they continue to get the shares, then they're gonna continue to do it. Like that, and they'll use the excuse, I'm just doing this so I can get my numbers up, so I can use it for my mixtape, so I can use it for my rap or whatever it is. So I think it's the more we laugh at it it, the more we give them that gratification that they're looking for, the more they're going to do it. Like you look at the girl Danielle who went on Phil Dr. Phil's show, and she cussed out her mom and all that. She was getting paid like under $35,000 just to show up to a place. So to them, it's like, man, this time I'm gonna get on. I just gotta do something stupid, do something dumb to blow up, and then hey, that's it. You know, and so the more we laugh at it, the more we say, oh, that boy, he crazy, and we share it, and we laugh, I mean, the more he gonna do it, you know. So, I mean, it's gonna go as far as we let it. Yeah, because a lot of us don't have that guidance. You know, I heard the big brother, I forgot the dude name, the other fat boy something. He just SSE. You know, because he just did it. Yeah, he did. He said he talked to him about doing the extra wild stuff because, you know, he do those type of videos, but he said he won't go that far. Yeah, I think he was running on somebody's car and things of that nature. He just needs somebody to guide him. You know, if we don't have nobody guiding us, then we gonna do what we gotta do, because you gotta think again, we all young, and whatever we feel like we getting that gratification comes, we're gonna continue to do. Like for example, if I'm growing up as a child and I have a child mindset, just because I'm 18, first of all, don't mean I'm an adult. That's just what they say in America. Like my brain don't even be developing until it's 25. So if I had that young age of 16, 17, 18, or I'm gonna just get an example when you're young. When you're young and you score a 3-pointer, a lot of times your father says, "Oh man, you the greatest, man. You doing this." So now that you got your father's approval, you want to be a basketball player. But think about if we said, "Oh, that's cool. You scored a 3-point, but man, that A you got on your test, man, you a genius, man. You a god." Now he gonna say, "Man, I want to keep getting that fee. I want to keep getting that gratification. So let me study a little bit more. Let me get an A on the next test." So depending on when we're young, depending on what somebody is giving you gratification for, or what they're giving you praise for, that's what you continue to do. So that's what I see going. The more we share, the more it's gonna happen.
All right. Okay, beautiful. Okay, family, I'm gonna get this call. Oh, before I do that, let me give the number out one more time. Family, the call-in number is 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058. We got a lot of people on the line. Okay. Let me go to Brother Psycho. Then I'm gonna go to Nikki. Do y'all have any, or Psycho? Do you have any questions for the brother?
Yeah. I was curious to know what his stance was on the topic we was talking about the other night. And especially being that he's down with the Nation of Islam. You know, the whole Colin Kaepernick situation with him protesting the flag, and now it seems like he's being whiteballed out the league. And you know, a lot of people don't know, but Colin Kaepernick isn't the first person to actually take a stance against the flag. Actually, it was 2 other people that had took strong stances against the flag that was actually Muslim. I'm not sure if they was down with the nation or not. Don't quote me. You probably know better than me about that. But I know Craig Hodges, a former NBA player for the Chicago Bulls, he took a stance against the flag and actually refused to visit the president and everything. And then there was Muhammad Abdul Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson, who famously took a stance against the flag in the 90s when he was playing with the Denver Nuggets. And he actually, I believe he used to turn his back to the flag and start praying and everything else. At first he started sitting down, but then I believe he changed it to turning his back to the flag and praying. And then he eventually ended up getting blackballed out the league. Like, so what's your stance about all this?
Yeah, I think all of them got whiteballed out the league and things start to happen to them. But I mean, I get it, and I like what they did because not only just in package, they got everybody talking about. Now you see how ESPN changed. Like now it's about they debating about black issues and things of that nature. So he pretty much changing how things is, and it trickled down to the high school. The high schoolers start doing it. Shoot, my high school basketball players, they did it. And it went all the way down to even middle school, Pop Warner, you know, AAU, things of that nature. So I like it, and of course, and for the boycott, I think we should. I'm on a show called Men's Viewpoint every Sunday, and we had an NFL player last week, and he said, "Man, look, the NFL is racist. And you know, I always talked about the $40 million slaves, how basically the combine is just like slavery.
Yeah,
and
it is.
and when I post that, you know, people say, "Oh, that's crazy. They getting paid millions of dollars. You can't compare that." And I'm glad that he spoke out about it, because he said, "Brother, that's exactly what it is." He said it's just they slaves. They'll turn you around, see you. Let me see your butt. They'll turn you around and see. Let me see how strong your thighs is. All kind of stuff. And he even brought up a great point. How he said they'll even throw a whole season just to make a point. He said, "Y'all remember back when Marshawn Lynch was supposed to get the ball on the one line?"
Oh yeah.
He said, "Think about this." He said the reason he didn't get the ball was because he didn't talk to the media. You know, and he's African. He's one of the people. You know, if he know they was trying to trick him. And what's the quarterback who
Russell
won?
Wilson.
Russell. Yeah, you know, he talked to the media. You know, he's friendly. He said the reason he didn't get the ball was because they didn't want him to get it, because he wasn't going to talk to the media, and they knew Russell Wilson was talking to him. This is somebody from the NFL. He said so they were willing to throw a whole season just to make a point. And there was a brother I think his name is Michael Speaks or something like that. I forgot his dang name. But he made a great point. He said, he hopes Colin Kaepernick don't get the job, because what we're saying is we're going to protest, or we're going to take our money away until the white man gave us the job. We should be focusing on what we can do to separate from them completely. That's right. The Honorable Muhammad said that separation is the best and only answer. So that's why the minister said we need to support Ice Cube, because he's starting his own league, 3-on-3 basketball league, black owned. So he can bring the Adam Iverson and all these different people back. So we need to focus on, hey man, if we got 75% viewers, and most of the NFL players is us, man, what could we do if we bought our own building? If we bought our own arenas, and if we got together with these brothers who going to college, and if we started our own league, man, everybody gonna come to us. All the sponsors gonna come to us, because everybody coming to see LeBron. Ain't nobody coming to see the CEO or the GM or nothing like that. They come to see LeBron. They come to see Kyrie, things of that nature. So if we was able to separate from them, we can still be successful, and that's what we got to see. So yeah, man, of course, whenever you stand up for police, stand up for your people, and they have a system set up. So whenever you challenge in that system, then of course they're going to whiteball you and things of that nature. So it's nothing I'm surprised about.
That's right. That's right. And that's an excellent point, that just simply boycotting, you know, that is like, in a lot of ways, just give them a job, you know, and then what? Everything's back to normal, you know. So that's a really excellent point. You know, that's an excellent point. Let me get Sister Nikki. Sister Nikki, you have any questions for Brother Ben X?
Peace, Brother Ben X. I'm so glad you're here tonight. I'm just sitting back, listening, taking it all in. I'm just interested. I don't know a whole lot about the Nation of Islam. Okay, are you a Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay. But, okay, so is the Nation of Islam, what is that? Is that the religion, or is that, what is that?
The Nation of Islam.
The Nation of Islam, what is it?
It's basically a nation within a nation. So we have a military, we have our own food, we have our own schools and things of the nature. So basically what the Nation of Islam is set up for us to separate. So everything that the white man has that we need, we're trying to basically build up a group of people so that we can separate from them. Muslim just simply means one who submits their will to do the will of God. Islam just simply means peace. But a lot of people think that because we are Muslims that it's a religion. Islam isn't a religion, it's a way of life. It was given as a religion. So you may see a lot of people say, hey, have you been to Mecca? Do you walk around the Kaaba and things? And they see those are the rituals. See, a lot of times people like to hide behind religion and like to put a stick on the back and say, hey, man, I'm pure because you see that sticker back there. No, the Nation of Islam is about us self-improving ourselves. We getting teachings from the Honorable Muhammad, and we're using it to first change ourselves, our families, and change our people. So the nation is set up to pretty much redeem and resurrect the black man here in America, and of course, after we resurrect ourselves, then we can use that to resurrect others. So basically, it's just a nation within a nation, and we're just trying to build here in America and make the tail first, as Scripture says.
Okay. So that's good. I'm glad. So we got that cleared up because a lot of people were, including myself, were a little bit confused because I know there are different sects of Muslims, but I wasn't sure if you all were actually Muslims or not, because I do know that y'all teach different things, unconventional things such as African history and like Egypt and like the black man has to save himself, nobody is coming to save him. That's a little bit different than traditional Muslim and Islamic teachings that I have experienced. So I do know it's a little bit different. That's why I asked, because y'all teach something very different than what I have been used to. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's basically a different perception. Like, we believe in the same things that Muslims do because, of course, we read the same book, but our perceptions is different. For example, regular Muslims or so-called Orthodox Muslims, they believe in the hereafter. Now, according to them, that's after you die, but the Honorable Muhammad teaches us that's here on earth. Heaven and hell is a condition here on earth. Here is describing the time and after. Here is describing the place, after is describing time. So here on earth, after this wicked world has been destroyed, that's when we experience hereafter. That's when we experience heaven, which is peace and peace and contentment, state of the mind, things of that nature. So after this wicked world has been destroyed, then we'll be living in heaven. But it's not somewhere you go after you die. That was a lie given to us by the slave masters, making us obey them and accept us getting whipped and things of that nature. So if I'm just gonna take these whips, I'm gonna allow you to hang us, and then you telling me that I believe. Oh, well, you making me believe that, hey, I can just take this and after I die, I get my reward in heaven, I get a new body. But if I fight back, if I disagree with what you say, if I look you in the eye and disobey you, then I'm going to hell and I'm gonna be burning forever. And of course, with the earth, with the sun being 93 million miles away, and I can feel it all the way here in Texas, and it's hot. I don't want to experience nothing to where I'm burning in fire forever. So I got scared, and I believe that if I disobey you, I'm gonna, go to hell. So I think we believe those are things that was tricked, and they just use a different perception than we do, but we believe the same thing.
Okay. And so as far as Muslims go, so we had just a little bit, certain languages that's used by Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and he's saying certain things, like he used a lot of vulgar language, and I haven't known that to be the Nation of Islam's teaching. I haven't really known that to be. Say it again.
When you say vulgar, which word?
Some of his language, like the N-word, he uses some other curse words, and I'm not sure if you all call that a pulpit or what you call that, but he uses it inside Mount Mariam.
Mm-hmm.
And so is that something that is regular? Is that something that is normal, or is that something that along lately, that type of language?
Well, I don't
know. And those type of references to other black people.
I wouldn't consider the N-word being vulgar, because if you go back to listen to some of the ministers' speeches, he said the same thing, and he would say after that, I'm not being vulgar. It's the way he's using it. So on the Breakfast Club, I don't know if you was able to see that, but he says whenever he goes to whenever you listen to him speak, you're going to hear him say black God, and you're going to hear him say nigger. And he said that he says nigger because the nigger culture is real. So the nigger that we are today, or that was made or that we see being made after slavery, was made by the white man, and the God is the original black man. So that's for real. That's a reality. So we don't try to sugarcoat anything, especially in the mosque. Those are people who understand what we're talking about. So when he says nigger, he's talking about the nigger culture. He's talking about how we out here robbing each other, how we out here, smoking drugs that pretty much harms us and things of that nature, being baby daddies and not taking care of the children. So he's talking about the nigga culture. He's not being vulgar saying, hey, what's up, my nigga, as a term of endearment. He's using it and using that term because that's what we use, and he's just pointing out the nigga culture, which is reality here in America when it comes to our people. Like the minister, he's been criticized by using what you would call cuss words, but he's just making a point, and he's basically an exclamation mark.
Okay, so I have noticed once again that there's a big change going on within the Nation of Islam, and some of the accepted behaviors, and homosexuality is one. So, what is the actual message on that right now? What is the actual message coming from the minister and your teachings that's going on right now within the Nation of Islam towards homosexuality?
Well, we always taught whatever God hates, we hate. So we always been against homosexuality, but we're not against our homosexual brothers because we believe they can all be redeemed. Brother Wexley, he's pretty much doing a whole series, got a whole book on how they're chemically messing with our testosterone, feminizing the black man. I'm not as educated in that as him, but he's talking about how certain different things that has high THC levels and Depo-Provera that our women are taking while they may be pregnant. Sometimes it gets in and it messes with our testosterone, and we come out having those homosexual tendencies. So we don't hate our brothers and sisters. We're not the group that's gonna say kill all homosexuals and things of that nature, because he says all Black Lives Matter. That's one of the things that kind of maybe started with the nation, that we said all Black Lives Matter, not just the conscious ones, not just the ones that think like us. All of our people can be redeemed. So we always been against homosexuality, because according, well, like you say, whatever God hates, we hate. So it's not that anything has changed. I don't know. Nothing has pretty much changed. He did a interview. Well, no, during the meeting in March, he let, I think, people from the Black Lives Matter speak, and I think some of those may have been homosexual or something like that. So a lot of people thought he had changed, but he always been for the people. He always been for the rise, no matter what section you're with. And we don't push homosexuality, and we always say you can come as you are, but you can't stay as you are. So, and the minister has several videos on YouTube about that as well. If you just type in Minister Louis Farrakhan homosexuality, he goes in depth about that.
That was actually
one more question. So what is, say it again?
Go ahead.
Okay. One more question. It is about integration. What is your stance, if you have a personal stance on integration, or is there a formal stance as far as race mixing? Because we're pro-black, we're for black for black man, black woman equals everlasting life, and a life, forever, world without end. And so what is the stance of that for you personally, or for the Nation of Islam?
The same as yours. We believe integration was one of the biggest tricks. A lot of times, man, we feel like because I can come into as soon as we was able to go into the white man's hotel, our hotel closed down. When we was able to get on the white bus, our bus closed down. When we was able to go to the white schools, our schools closed down. So I think, we believe that we was already good when we had our own. And I think that's why one of the reasons they burned down Tulsa, because they noticed how powerful that would have been if we would have had black-owned businesses and we was doing for ourselves, doing everything. So that's actually in our 110 beliefs. If you go to NY.org and go to the Nation's program, or if you look on the back side of the final call, every final call, it says that we're against the interracial marriage. And we always thought that integration was the biggest trick, so we don't believe in the integration. Matter of fact, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad respected white people who wanted to stay with their race, because whenever they mix with a black man or a black woman, they are killing their race, because we're the dominant gene, and they'll be basically dying out, which is what's happening right now. Their birth rate is in the negative. So the same position you have, we have.
Okay, now that was actually going to be one of my questions about, just to go back for a moment, about homosexuality. I hear a lot of people, you know, in today's time saying that it's not that they're more homosexuals, especially in the black community. It's not that they're more homosexuals, it's just that people feel more free or able to come out. I disagree with that. But you see you see a lot of the young people, you see a lot of the young girls who are quote unquote studs, as they call themselves, and engaging in certain things, and trying to take on a more masculine persona. You see the young brothers who are extremely effeminate, who are also, you know, some not so effeminate, who are engaging with other males, and it's becoming more and more accepted, honestly, and even to the point where you have some of the young black kids in middle school who are saying, you know, I'm bisexual and this, that, and the other. What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think? I know you mentioned Muhammad and some of the things that he said. I did see his video. I watched one of his lectures he did on the THC, and you know, I've heard that a little bit. I've heard about that a little bit. You know, something's going on with the marijuana, genetically modified, or what have you. What is your personal opinion? Do you think that this is just people are feeling more free to supposedly come out, or do you feel like this is just completely manufactured? This is just a problem that has been created, and that's the main issue.
I think it's both. That goes back to Dr. Wesley's lectures, and not just him. It's been other people, even white people, who's came out and talked about the certain chemicals they use that can turn a rat gay, and they use the same thing on humans. So I think it's both chemical, and I think you got this gay pride stuff going on. You have it, and it's more acceptable now. So I think it's a little bit of both, where they are chemically being feminized, and the women are being masculinized at the same time, as Brother Dr. Wesley talks about. And plus, you know, with all the movies, you got even cartoons kissing each other now, so it's just more accessible. So I think it's both.
Now, do you think? Let's talk about it a little bit from this perspective, then. With a lot of the, you know, young girls becoming more masculinized and the young brothers becoming more feminized, I would like for you to speak about the relationship between the black male and female, because I heard you earlier on in the conversation. You spoke about, you know, the classes that you all have, the classes for the sisters and then the classes for the brothers. What do you think is going on with the black man and woman, especially from a youth perspective? Because we're in a time, like I said, with a lot of this different sexualities, and then on top of that, we're in a time where it's a lot of the baby mother, baby father type of situation, and it's almost seen as easier or more acceptable, really, to have a child with someone and not be married to them, instead of being married to them. Like, to be married seems a little bit more far-fetched than it does for somebody to have a child with someone else. So what do you think about the relationship, and what are some tips or some things you feel like solutions, I'll say, between the black man and black woman?
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. He also says where there are no decent women, there are decent men. But he also says, to balance it out, that every no good woman was made that way by a no good man. So with that being said, I think it's the women. The more the women have those standards, the more the women say, no, you can't have this unless you got a job. You can't have this unless you got a vision. You can't have this unless you're ready to commit and really commit in things of that nature. And I think it's going to continue to go, because from a brother's standpoint, man, if I can have your car if you can give me money, you cooking for me, then there's no reason for me to get married because you're giving me everything I want up front. Right. I get to have sex with you already. I get to stay at your house already, so there's no reason for me to really get married. There's nothing on the other side for me to get if I do get married. Even if you are that sister who says, well, I got standards. Well, look, there's another sister on Instagram who got a bigger butt than you do, bigger breasts than you do, and she's going to let me do it too. So I think it's just once the sisters come together, because, you know, once the sisters come together and they raise their standards, and I think we have to raise our standards because it's in our nature to chase the woman. And far as the relationship-wise, I've been studying courtship, just been studying Sister Ava and some of the ministers' old lectures. You know, a lot of times we just get in these relationships because somebody look good or because, you know, y'all was already together, things of that nature, and we don't really court and find out if this is if this really the one for me. So we just basically hop around. So the minister talks about you got to know yourself before you try to know somebody else. So do you know your strengths and weaknesses? As a man, do you know your vision? Do you know your goals? So now that you know yourself, you can go pick a woman that can help you get there. Sister Ava talks about having that balance. The reason we are attracted to each other because we are different. And whatever you have as a strength, I may have as a weakness. So that's an attraction. Opposites attracting now. So now my strength is helping out your weaknesses, and your strength is helping out my weaknesses. Now we the perfect bond. And now when things come up in a relationship, because we built off a true foundation, when something happens, then we got something to stand on. But a lot of times we move too fast, and we just out here, and we just want to have sex, and we just want to have fun. So we have these baby mamas and baby daddy type thing because we moving too fast. So I think we go back to the old way. A lot of times people say, "Oh, that's the modern time. That's the old time." But I think if you look back, man, those are the ones who had those real strong marriages because they took the time out. You have to go meet the daddy first. It wasn't no just let's go Netflix and chill. You have to go meet the dad. You know, you going out to eat. You can't just go to the house. You know, so many things are just acceptable now. Like I be seeing women say, "Hey, bitch," and all this. There was a time when if you called a woman a B word, like that was a fight. But now it's like a term of endearment now. Like, oh, that's my B word. Like, what? Back in middle school, somebody girl will slap you for saying that. So I think we just got to get back to having those standards, man, and going back to the old way, sitting down, talking to you. Let me see what's in your mind first before I try to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what your, you know, stuff feel like and all that. So I think we just got to go back to the old way, going back to being patient and raise our standards again.
Okay, I got like about a few more things I'm going to hit you with. Okay, I want to get to, okay, let's go here first. Let's deal with hip hop because you're an artist and actually you probably didn't hear it, but I played your remix to the story of OJ at the beginning. And, you know, even with the homosexuality you see, or these images, you know, they always say the person isn't homosexual, but they give you this imagery. So you have Young Thug, you have the Little Yachty, you have these types of people now, and this is what's being called hip-hop as far as the younger generation. They call it mumble rap. A lot of people call it mumble rap. But you're seeing this very feminized young black man representing hip hop. You see with the women, I mean, it's, well, for the ones that are out there that get a little attention or shine, they're coming actually, it seems like harder. It seems almost like a role reversal, and you're seeing the male rappers being more effeminate and the female rappers being more masculine. Where do you see, like, hip-hop is just, man, it's really all over the place right now. We have a lot of Jew ownership, of course, white ownership. Where do you really see hip-hop going, I'll say in the next 10 years? Where do you see hip-hop being?
I don't know, because I really don't pay attention to it. But from what I do know, I mean, it seems like everybody just wants to talk about trap. Everybody wants to talk about things they didn't really do just to get famous. just get the likes, just get all the views on the videos, and just talk about things that have no substance in it. Like you said, man, there's some songs I'll be like, man, this don't even make sense. They saying the same thing over and over again. But like you said, it's a lot of Jew owners. They got that money behind them to promote that type of stuff. So that's what you're gonna have. I think it's gonna be, until we come together. The minister said, as long as we beef with one another, and we can't come together and sit down and do some things economically. So he talked about how the Jews, they don't have the talent. We have the talent. So what they'll do is they'll book the arena or they'll book the club, and they'll bring us in, tell us what we need to rap about. Sign us to some money that we've never seen before. We already struggling. Mama already struggling, so I'm gonna say whatever this white man said I need to rap about, and I'm gonna take this money and do what I do with it because I ain't never had it. So he says as long as we beef with each other and we don't come together and we start taking over our own things and using our own talents, then it's gonna go wherever the white man wants us to go. So that's my thoughts on it.
I agree. I definitely agree. And it's set up that way, but just as you was just explaining that right there, I mean, you have them as a middleman, they're the ones in the middle, and it would be great if more of our people were able to cut them out. I think with the internet, it has been helpful to some artists, but at the same time, you still have these white folks in control who can write those checks up front and who can back a lot of these people and things. So, I think that's very important. We have a lot of people on the line, but y'all press 1 if y'all have a question or comment. Who I had on earlier dropped off, but we had a lot of people in here listening. Okay, so let me go here. This is another one of my big questions for you. Trump. What do you feel about Trump? Like, what is the nation? I mean, you can give me the nation's stance and yours as well, or however you want to do it. But what do you think about Trump and here recently, the whole situation with North Korea and this man's mouth, and what do you think about that? And also, I would like to know, are you what people would call a conspiracy theorist in terms of, do you think all of this stuff is really just set up and this is just orchestrated, this whole political situation going on, be it the election or beyond? So, I know there's like 3 questions in one, but basically about Trump, and then basically about, do you think all of this is just manipulated and created?
Well, I'll first say the minister. Well, I don't worry about Trump. I pretty much ignore him. So I'm like Muhammad said, he'll have us so smart that he'll have the white man wrapped around our finger. We won't even know he was there back when he was among us. And the minister said basically that Trump is good. Trump is God's man. Now, don't take that the wrong way. What he means is the things we are already supposed to have doing, he's forcing us to do it. So you hear him talking about food stamps. He's going to take all this different stuff.
Right.
These are things we should have been trying off anyway, because we shouldn't have been being dependent on these certain things. So the minister had a lecture where he said, kick it. Trump, kick it real good, because he needs to continue to kick us into depending on ourselves. He needs to kick us into becoming independent. So now that you got somebody in the White House that he said he's peeling the onion off of white people, he's now breaking the real races out. So before, when you had people in there and you had white people smiling at you, now that Trump is talking like he's talking, now all the white people bringing out their true colors. So now, we seeing that we really need to separate. We seeing that we really need to come together if we're going to survive in America. So I think it's good that he's in office, because he's going to force us to do what we already should have been doing. And for my views, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I already care what he's doing, because I already believe if we come together and do what we're supposed to do, there's nothing that can stop us, really.
Gotcha. Okay. Brother E, I see you. Give me just a couple minutes, and I'll give you just a couple minutes. Okay, so I would say, I would like to hear from you as a young brother, of course. what are your solutions for our community? I mean, of course, we know you're a nation of Islam, and you all have a nation within a nation. And you were saying before that's the only solution, which I agree with, separation. And so how do you think we can go about helping to facilitate that separation in terms of what we do, with each other, how we treat each other, or what types of things do you feel we should be doing to move toward that separation?
Focusing on what we can do to build our own. And don't devalue ourselves. A lot of times people think that all I do is just do this, or this ain't gonna be valuable. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we need everything. So if you make cartoons, man, that's good because our children need cartoons to watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you do some of the smallest thing that you think is small, bring it to the table because we're gonna need everything if we're gonna separate. So first of all, not just separate physically, but we got to separate our mind first because everything starts with the mind. When you go into the scripture, Moses was trying to find people who did certain things. I'm going to find somebody who stole. I'm going to find somebody who did it. Jesus said, even if you think about it, you already can. So basically what he's saying is everything starts with the thought. So if I kill somebody, yeah, I killed them, but I killed them maybe at 3 o'clock that evening. I mean, that afternoon, but he physically died. He physically got shot at 6. Because I already had it in my mind that I was going to shoot him. So first we got to separate our mindsets first. Stop believing that we are inferior. Stop believing that we have to depend on them to do whatever we need, or stop thinking that we have to depend on somebody else to do for us what we have the power to do for ourselves. So we first have to separate our minds. So now we got the sit-away method that the argument was Farrakhan talks about. So if you're working on a white man's job, man, that's fine. Ain't nobody tripping on that. Because you gotta have your rent. You got stuff that you need to take care of. But he said the sit-away method is that extra money that you got, you need to be putting that off to the side, starting you a small business so you can have power and dominion on the side. Then once that business on the side is there to sustain you and your family, then you can quit the white man's job. So now you got your own business, you got power and dominion, and then he also says, pool your resources and message to the black man. So he talked about getting 6 to 8 like-minded individuals come together and doing something for ourselves. Because everybody, realistically, they don't want to own the business. But Dr. Quest Watkins said, look, man, if I'm investing in 10 businesses, I do got a business. I mean, if I invest 10% in 10 businesses, or if I got 10% back in 10 businesses, then I do have a business. So we got to focus on pooling our resources, basically, and doing something for ourselves. And that's basically how we're going to separate. Whether it's you're going to be a worker, or you're gonna be the guy who's owning something, we gotta own everything that we basically need.
Absolutely. Okay, let me get Brother E, and then I got a couple more questions. Oh, I'm sorry. Psycho, were you saying something?
Hold on.
No, I didn't say nothing.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
No, I didn't say anything, Renee.
No. Brother Dennis, were you saying something?
That again?
Oh, okay. I thought one of y'all was saying something.
Oh, okay. My cousin had came to the car, but yeah, I'm good now.
Oh, okay. Got you. All right, let me get Brother E. Peace, Brother E.
Renee?
How are you? We can hear you.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, do you hear feedback? That's my question. When I speak.
No, not while you're speaking.
Okay, good.
Yes, that's the caller. Yes.
Okay. So I was wondering, X, how old are you, sir?
23.
Oh, good. Young dude. Wonderful. And you said some very interesting things, Ben, in regards to even power. Because that's the thing people very likely don't want to attain. I mean, you mentioned Dr. Boyce Watkins in regards to people, how they can attain power. And really, it doesn't take much. I mean, people don't understand we have the capability, our time, and whatever skill we have, that's a sense of power. If we utilize the power. I mean, I know a lot of people still work for these systems now, and eventually someone want to draw away, which they can't. But it goes back to people got to really know themselves and their potential. I mean, a lot of us, we sit there and worship this dollar bill, but there are many ways of resource besides this dollar bill we make. That sustain us. Because it's community. Good, Bad Nation Islam, they have a sense of community, you know, or growing the community as we speak, you know. And I see what this system doing now is it's testing the majority of people that are we going to really seek power and do for self and work as a collective, or are we going to really suffer? That's what is the best of me to say right now as we speak. I see a lot of people get emotional because certain Europeans don't like them. Me, when I see that, I could tell our people are still very much immature. They know how racist these people are, but the way how this isn't set up and the way how certain people put in position, it draws out the real beast out of white people already. And our people don't really know how to act and connect accordingly to these people when they engage in their real racism, either in front of their face or behind their backs. So the system's going to force enough of us to separate. And a lot of people really, by default, don't want to really separate. But those who will. And those not, they're gonna feel it. That's how I see it.
All righty. Well, thank you, Brother E. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, that's one of the person. All right, so let me ask you this. In terms of, you know, we definitely know that the Nation of Islam feels like the white man is the devil. I agree. What do you say in terms of there's a lot of black folk out here who, you know, have a lot of trouble with that. They have a lot of trouble with that statement. What's been your experience? Have you had a lot of people that you've come across who've pushed back against that, black folk who've pushed back against that stance of the white man being the devil? And then I would even ask you on a personal level, why do you feel the white man is the devil? Let me say white man and woman is the devil.
Of course. Well, of course, I got a lot of pushback against that, but I think a lot of people take that out of context because I actually just made a video today. I posted that can I be a devil? And I absolutely can be a devil because a devil is a wicked person going against God, and being that we have been trained up and raised by the rebellious devil, we're following his ways, then we are two devils. Since the Uncle Elijah Muhammad pretty much put that on the scene, I would go with his teachings on that. He told the minister to stop using the word devil and start using the word, started to use slave masters, teachers, or use the word Satan. Satan is not only a devil, but he makes devils. So he is the Satan, and we now can be devils. And basically what he was doing was he was changing the mindset of people. You got to understand, back then, that was a time when you was getting hung. You know, my people coming out getting hung, and it was bluntly racist. Not that they aren't now, but they were very bluntly racist, and we was afraid of them. So the Honorable was telling them, you the devil, right to their face, trying to show our people who they really were. It's kind of like, and it was because we were immature at the time. So, for example, if with me being a father, if I tell my son, who's about to be 2 years old, about a snake, I'm going to tell him all snakes are bad. That's the same thing he meant by saying the white man is the devil. The reason I would tell him that all snakes are bad is because I know there's rattlesnakes and I know there's grass snakes. Now, with me being mature, I know that grass snake ain't poisonous, and I know that the rattlesnake is poisonous, but because he's immature, he don't understand which one. So he ain't got time to be sitting out there saying, is this the grass snake or is this the rattlesnake? So I'm going to just tell him, leave him all alone. Then once he gets up to a certain age, let me show him, okay, you see that snake right there? That one cool. You can pick that one up, play with it a little bit. That one ain't going to bite you. So that's basically what he meant by saying the white man is the devil, because when you look at us, the minister said, look, man, when you in the room and you raping that black woman, where's the white man in that? Where's the devil? Where was the devil in the room? He right there in you. So he says the devil is deceptive intelligence, rationalizing disobedience. So that same wickedness that was in the devil is also in us. And actually, with the white man coming from us, being grafted from us, the purpose of that is so we can see what was already within ourselves. So you see the white man doing all these different things. He's killing and he's stealing. When we look into the black community, you see that as well. So what the guy was trying to show us is that those same things that you see in a full flesh form of a human being, these are the same things that's within you. And I'm using that so that you can perfect yourself, so you can see what's already within you, so you can correct what's inside of you, so you can go ahead and be the God that I'm trying to create you to be. So that's my perspective on it. When he said the white man is the devil, because of course you got white people. Master Prophet Muhammad, who is the founder of the Nation of Islam, his mother was white. And that was, of course, for a deeper reason that the minister talks about on that's a longer lecture. But if we hated all white people, or if all white people was literally wicked, then what about his mother? You think he hated his mother? You think he gonna chastise his mother or something like that? So it was a reason he said it that way. And that's pretty much my perspective on it, or our perspective on it.
Okay. All right. Now I got a couple tougher questions. Well, I mean, you can answer as much as you choose to or not. But you have a couple videos on it. That's why I'm asking about it as well. You have a video speaking about, kind of the situation between the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and between Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. What is it that you feel like you wish more people knew about that situation, or maybe their risk that they had?
Well, I actually interviewed somebody, because I don't know, and of course none of us was there. So I interviewed a brother who was actually there, who trained under Khalid Muhammad, who actually was the brother who was with Khalid Muhammad when he broke down crying, because he said, Khalid Muhammad said that he didn't want to happen with him and the minister what happened to Malcolm and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So he told them if he ever left the nation that they had the right to kill him. Things of that nature. So I actually have a whole interview on this. Type in the truth behind Khalid Muhammad. It was a brother who I interviewed who was actually there with Khalid Muhammad, drove with him, was with him on the street, and he said that it wasn't the minister. The minister told the FOI to kill Khalid wherever he was. But the thing was, there was people that was in the nation that was stopping Khalid from reaching the minister. So it wasn't the minister, it was people in the nation that was jealous of him that was stopping them from getting back together. And it was frustrating Brother Khalid, so he went ahead and left. But the brother Ray Muhammad talks about all of that. So I just wish people would just know the truth, basically, just see what actually happened, and not just from what social media say or what the news say. Go listen from a brother who was actually with Khalid around that time. And like I said, I don't know, I wasn't there, so I don't have a lot to say about it, but I have an interview about YouTube. If you just search the truth behind Khalid Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan, I did a whole interview with a brother who was actually there and was around the minister and Brother Khalid and was able to talk about it.
Okay. And then I want to ask you this. What do you feel are, personally, what do you feel like some misconceptions about the Nation of Islam, be it, negative or even positive? What do you feel are some misconceptions? And also, how do you feel about, certain criticism that some in the Black community and some in the, even more specifically, some in the so-called pro-Black community? What do you feel about that criticism?
Well, the most thing is, of course, about Brother Malcolm, about saying that the nation killed him or whatever. But if you go back and listen to Vlad TV, the daughter actually recently had an interview where she said the shooters came out and spoke to her and apologized to her and even told her that they wasn't from the Nation of Islam. They're from other different entities. So I wish he would just get down to the truth of that. They tried to use the minister's lecture when he said, what business is it yours if we dealt with a traitor like a traitor? He was saying basically his point was we was the one who went down to the trenches to get Malcolm when he was a pimp, when he was drug dealing, when he was robbing, when he was doing all these different things. We the one who spent time trying to bring him up and build him to be Malcolm. So he said if we did it, he was making the point, if we did it, why did you care? Because you didn't care about him when he was just Lil Red or D-Trevor, whatever his nickname used to be. So a lot of people try to use that, but when you get down to the actual facts, down to the COINTELPRO documents with J. Edgar Hoover, Malcolm X was all in there, and you look at Gene Roberts, who was right by Brother Malcolm, he was the NYPD agent. He was the same person who infiltrated the Black Panthers, and he's also the person who looked like he was giving Brother Malcolm mouth to mouth. But if you get shot in your chest area, you're not supposed to get mouth to mouth, because when you get mouth to mouth, it actually pushes the bullet holes deeper. So he was making sure that he was dead. So it's a lot of things that people, don't understand. So that's the main one. And I honestly don't care about the criticism. As long as I know the truth, as long as I done put it out there for you, my only dang, I don't know what to call it. My only goal, my only duty, that's the word. My only duty is to deliver a clear message. I did a whole hour-long video about it where I'm showing actual videos of people that was there, the security guard who was there. Actually, what happened was the police tried to say that the FY did it that wasn't even there at the scene. And they was going to tell the security guard who opened up for Malcolm, they said they was going to give him time if he didn't lie and say that he was there. So they're basically trying to say somebody from the Nation of Islam did it who wasn't even there on the scene. And everybody know he wasn't there because some of them left the Nation of Islam to go with Malcolm. So they would have known the brother if he was there. They knew his face. So it's a lot of stuff people don't understand. And I think a lot of times they do know that the Nation didn't do it, but they need to have an excuse for not following whatever, we saying or just getting on the bandwagon. So, but again, I don't care about the criticism. Sometimes I have to deal with it in the comments because I don't want somebody who's ignorant to the situation to think, oh, well, I didn't know that. So sometimes I got to go back and forth. That's the most annoying thing, having to clear it up all the time in the comments. But as far as the criticism, hey, I ain't tripping because I, got down to what happened. Because of course, I mean, when I came into the Nation, I'm young. I didn't grow into it, so I had the same skeptical. I was skeptical just like y'all was. So now that's why when people say certain things, it don't move me because hey, I thought the same thing. I just took the time out to find out what really happened, so I ain't tripping.
Okay, so what's it like in the community? What's the feedback you get? Is it a lot of love? Do people have a lot of questions when they see you in the community? You get a lot of respect. Do some people want to come and like people of other states? Do they want to come and like debate you on the street, or how is that?
I actually get a lot of love and respect. A lot of people love the fact that we out there. We got teeth and bow ties on. We look respectful. A lot of people. Matter of fact, I was at Family Dollar with the final call, and I asked his sister. She didn't see me. I said, "You got 30 seconds to talk to you?" She said, "No, we ain't got time." And when she looked back and saw that I had a suit and bow tie on, she said, "What you want?" And so I talked to her, and after I finished talking to her, she, gave the donation and, showed me love and, talked about how respectful, and all that different things. So they actually love that we looking like young men when we sacrificing our time going door to door, trying to give them a positive message to our people. A lot of them talk about how we can be out there selling drugs, we can be out here robbing and killing people, but we taking our time out to really uplift our people. So we get a lot of love. Now, of course, you get those who are Christians that try to debate it sometimes, but it don't be nothing too hard because we know the Bible most of the time more than they know it. So, Brother Lyric said it, they go by the Bible, but they don't go in the Bible. I don't know if y'all caught that. They go by the Bible, but they don't go in. So a lot of things we know a lot better. They know a lot better than we know a lot better than they do. So they make that way. We believe in Jesus. We say, well, yeah, we believe in the Christ too. We just don't believe in him the same way you do. So, but we ain't out there trying to change anybody's religion or give anybody religion. We just trying to give us some principles and some news and a message that can pretty much unite our people and resurrect us.
All right, brother, I'm gonna get this call, and then I'm gonna let you wrap it up and give all your information. Let me go to 919. Peace. What's your name? Where you come from?
Peace and love. This is Sister Medina. Assalamu alaikum to Brother Ben X. And I got on kind of late, but I did hear part of the message. And first and foremost, I wanted to tell y'all I miss y'all so much.
Okay.
I haven't been on the airwaves. We miss you. Y'all are in my heart. It's just that, thank you. Y'all, it's just that they try to censor your show and all other positive shows. So I had to, it's like on my regular phone, I can't get to y'all. So I had to use this iPhone and, But to make a long story short, I wanted to shout out Sister Nikki Justice also because she had tagged me into this show. So that's when I saw it and I said, let me call. Yes. And but first and foremost, I want to say, give my love to y'all. I want to shout out Brother Ben X for everything that he is doing, and I just wanted to briefly share my testimony. And in 1985, I was. Thank you. In 1985, I lived in Brooklyn, New York, and I was 11 years old, going on 12. And my mom told me, she said, we're going to go see the minister next week. So I was like, the minister, because, you know, I wasn't raised in church, although my family was deeply into the church. So I was like, the minister, and I just dreaded going to see the minister. But I didn't know anything about Farrakhan. But when we went there, prior to us going there, it was a whole bunch of hoopla on the news. Like, Minister Farrakhan is coming to town, and then they would ask the people, what do they feel about the minister? And I just saw so much controversy. A lot of people liked the minister, but then it was a lot of people that was against him. And mostly they was of the Caucasoid race, and they would say, "Oh, I hate him. He's not this," you know. So I already knew it was going to be controversy, but I was wondering why. So when I got to Madison Square Garden, I just saw it was thousands. When I say thousands, because it was 35,000 people there. Prior to that, it took us like 3 hours to get in. Security was super tight, and I saw so many black people. It made me feel so proud. Because I was only 11 years old, but in the media, I only saw our people in a negative light. I saw it was guards and herbs there with people. They was treating everyone with respect. They were just saying, peace, sister. And you know, I saw the fruit of Islam. They're always sharp, on point, you know, not a speck of dirt. They are cleaner than a board of health. So I want to salute the fruit of Islam, Minister Farrakhan, and the first 5 minutes of me being in there and hearing him speak, that's when I knew this is the truth. And he inspired me so much. He was just breaking stuff down left and right. And although we were there 3 hours, it didn't seem like 3 hours. And when I left, I was hungry for more. It got to the point where I even wrote him a letter. I don't know if we ever mailed it, but I wrote him a long letter. And I just want to shout out Minister Farrakhan. I love him so much. And I owe him and I dedicate my life. I don't care what the negative stuff that people say about him, because he changed my life for good. He changed my mother's life for good. And I remember just listening to him build. It was just so deep. And he was just breaking stuff down. But then this is where I peaked the negativity. When it was a few protesters there. They were saying it was going to be like so many protesters. But we were 35,000 strong. So their little 20, 30 protesters wasn't hitting on anything. The 35,000 people in one spot. No type of altercations. Everything was orderly. They checked us and everything. They did the men on one side, women on the other side. I didn't understand the science behind it back then, but I do now. And then we started frequenting mosque number 7. So I just learned a lot from the minister, and I just want to shout y'all out and say thank you so much. Yes, praise be to Allah, alhamdulillah. Also, when I got home and I looked at the news, all they was trying to do was say negative things. They would take a portion of what he said and edit it to make it seem like he said something else. So it was total deception. I'm like, but Mom, he didn't say that. And she said that it was just like her point was being made. She just shook her head knowingly. And it just made me like, and then I went to school the next day. I was so excited. I was like, I saw Farrakhan. And like, you know, I was around the masses that was deaf, dumb, and blind. They didn't know what I was talking about. But as I got older, and then hip-hop started evolving, and then they started like people would be influenced by the Nation of Islam. And then it started becoming not trendy, but, you know, people will become interested in gaining knowledge of self. And that's when hip-hop was booming. I think the CIA had something to do with hip-hop taking a turn for the worse and turning it into something detrimental, because hip-hop was beautiful. And I remember you had one of the founders of the Sugar Hill Gang, and he said hip-hop really meant higher inner power, healing our people. That was the acronym for hip-hop. And that's what it was at that time. But now they done turned it into trap music, and it's nothing but a trap. But I'm going to keep it brief. I just want to say I love y'all and salute.
Oh, we miss you too, Queen. Thank you for calling. Always.
Guess what, Nikki Justice? I love your Black Power is chill. That's so smooth. Black Power is chill.
You know what? Well, happy Black August, and thank you for calling. And I love you too. Miss you too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sis. Much appreciated.
You're quite welcome.
Oh,
You're quite welcome. Y'all appreciate it as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, and yes, they do. They definitely do censor my show. They censor the heck out of my show. They play all little kinds of games and things, and hey, it is what it is, but we still in here. We still gonna be putting out that powerful information. Sister Nikki or Psycho, did y'all have any last questions or comments for Brother Ben X?
No, not in particular. Just it's good to see a young brother out here, you know, trying to spread his message. You know, regardless of whether or not you agree with his ideology or not, it definitely appears that he's here for the people, and that's all that matters. Black first, you know, Black powered, and yeah, good to see you. Good to see you doing what you're doing, brother.
I couldn't agree more.
That's right. You know, it's an excellent thing to see a young man with a powerful message, because way back in the day, as we know, may or may not know, the young people were leading. They were leading the Black Panther Party. They were actually underneath of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But, you know, Brother Cassius Clay, which we all know is Brother Muhammad Ali, he was young. You understand? Brother Malcolm X, they all were young, very young in it, and they were getting out, and they were doing what needed to be done. You understand? And they were very disciplined, and that's something that we need. We need to see that. As far as young people, we need to see something else other than a young man that's going to dress in, you know, certain clothing to further an agenda to murder us. So we do need that example of life in our community, and at that age is very important. Those 20s are very, very important, because you have one foot in the teenage realm and you have one foot in the adult realm. So I'm definitely very happy to hear from you tonight, Brother Ben X, and thank you for running it down with Sister Renee.
Oh, I dig.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Brother Ben X, I would like for you to say anything you wanted to say. Maybe you didn't get an opportunity to say, and then I would also want you to let the people know where can they find you, where can they check you out, give you a link, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I pretty much said everything that I want to say. Thank you all for having me on the show. Yes. I'm honored to be on the show. And you guys can find me anywhere on social media. Just type in Brother Ben X on any social media platform, and you'll pretty much find me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
All right, and you are welcome anytime. Yes, thank you again for coming on. Like I said, you have a lot of powerful information. Like I said, family out there who have, teens or tweens, I think they call it, or you have nieces or nephews or whatever, young people that you know in your family, please check out his video called My Parents Hate Me. It is just phenomenal. It's really phenomenal work. So I want to thank you again, brother. Much success in all that you do. Much continued success in all that you do. And peace and love.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all as well.
All right.
Yeah,
thank you. All right, family. Well, y'all, I'm so tired. It's been a long week. I have some couple things I have to do, but I did want to, because we did not do the show Tuesday, and Tuesday we were going to talk about Colin Kaepernick. And yeah, we were going to talk about Colin Kaepernick and basically the whole boycott situation and what have you. There's a lot, I guess, going on with that. I did want to give my 2 cents on that. And also Psycho and Nikki. We talked about it a little bit on, well, I guess quite a bit on Psycho's Hangout that he had the other night. But but I just wanted to say too that when the brother was speaking, he made a good point, and I didn't really think about that part of it, which is that, you know, if black folk boycott and we say to the team, go ahead and pick up Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you know, we'll go ahead and pick him up, whatever. Then what? You know, it's back to the same thing. It's back to still supporting these different, you know, places that don't give a damn about black folk. You know, because the main thing is the reasoning, from what we understand, because he hasn't said much about it, but for what I understand about his initial not standing or what have you, based upon, you know, the police brutality that's happening against unarmed black men, women, and children. And, you know, so with that, these companies, you know, that the NFL, Nike, and all these other people they have contracts with, so on and so forth, they don't give a damn about no black folks and police brutality. And that issue is what's not really being talked about for real, for real. I mean, to a degree, but really, they kind of like muddying the waters on that, so that people don't really talk about that. Instead, they just keep it on, well, is he going to get picked up or not? Instead of, why is it's such a hardship for him to get picked up? But I mean, the root of why he did what he did, which now makes it hard for him to get picked up. So, kind of like brushing that to the side as usual. So that really, to me, needs to be the focus. And, you know, some people are saying about the boycotting or whatever, like, you would not go to your job and this and that. And, you know, you'll tell other people not to go to work, but you're not going to not go to work and this and that. I'm like, okay, I understand people's points when they say that. However, I look at it this way. When you think in terms of the average, everyday black person who's out here, you know, trying to make ends meet or what have you, now, it's only but so much power organization that we have right at this moment. If you look at the NFL, they have an international reach, okay? They have a huge public stage, a public platform to reach everybody, okay? Because you, from the most racist Caucasoid to the most whoever, everybody in between watches NFL, or a good amount, okay? So what better opportunity than that to say, well, damn, you know, the NFL is 70% black men. Who is it primarily being killed unarmed and wrongfully killed or shot? Black men. Who is it that's mass incarcerated and slapped with all of these consequences that other people are not, in a sense? Black men. So wouldn't it make sense for black men who have a hell of a lot of reach, who have a hell of a lot of a platform? They do make a whole lot more money than the average everyday black person makes, especially when you consider the average household wealth for a black family is $5,000. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to count them brothers' money, but at the same time, let's keep it funky. Like, if not them, then who? If not now, then when? Okay? So I'm not trying to just dump all of that on them But I find that crazy because it's black men suffering the most. It's black men suffering the most. And you gotta twist these Negroes' arms to try to get them to stand on a cause. Like, I don't know. This is kind of how I see it. You had a brother, you don't hear too much more about it anymore, because I need to look into that case. But you had the brother Joe McKnight, who was, killed in Louisiana, supposedly, road rage or whatever, and the man's coming, stand your ground, okay? The brother had no weapon, and the white man straight up killed him, and if y'all remember, he got to go home that night. But yeah, so what about that? Where is there more? It's been hella NFL players who have gotten stopped, wrongly stopped, who had other issues and things with the police. This is the reality of being a black man, and let's be clear, a big black man, and especially if you dark, honey, that's the reality of life in America with 3 Ks. So then why is it so hard to have any ounce of integrity, even to the point where we talk about the Clippers, and they come to their damn practice after the coach, not the coach, but the owner, niggers and all that he was saying, and they come with their damn shirts inside out. And then everybody says, well, they got to get their money. And see, that's the thing is, that's one of the problems. Listen, when you are in a capitalist system, the white man will always have more money than you. A white supremacist capitalist system. The white man will always have more money than you. Therefore, if it comes down to just writing a check, they'll take the check. It comes to a point where you have to have more integrity than that. And I understand we all need money to survive. Like, it ain't nothing free. Nothing is free. Okay? But as long as we have that mentality that the money is more important than anything else, we're going to continue to stay like this because they got an infinite amount of money. No matter what you hear them say or whatever, they'll print up some more dollars or whatever they got to do, okay? The money's there. And you see how easily, they'll give you $6 million. That's the going rate for a young black man, okay? For his body is a going rate of $6 million. But that's what they do when they roll out that check to the family and they keep it pushing. So if we're going to be just relying upon money to be the whole end-all be-all, we're going to remain this way. So I just wanted to say that. I know I gave y'all earful, a little rant there. But, Brother Psycho and Nikki, y'all want to say anything on that?
Nikki?
Okay, yeah, I thought you was gonna go. Yeah, I think it's difficult. You understand? Because I understand, of course, the whole dynamic of what's going on with Colin Kaepernick right now, and I understand the let's just say it's very detrimental. Very detrimental. First of all, the NFL is 75% black. Okay? Almost all of the players are black. Okay? So if we're gonna boycott the NFL, and I'm saying I'm including myself in this, not necessarily, but I am for now. If we're gonna boycott the NFL, then we're gonna boycott other black people for a half-breed. I mean, what are we actually doing? Like, what's really going on? Because, once again, the message has been hijacked. Okay? Everything has been turned around on us. And once again, our focus has been deterred to something else. How is it that all of these people have bachelor's degrees, PhDs? Black people right now have more degrees than ever, but we have one of the highest unemployment rates around. Like Sister Renee said, we're incarcerated. I personally cannot, I cannot get into this Colin Kaepernick thing. I just can't. I just cannot. There have been so many brothers and sisters that have stood up, been pushed down, thrown in their actual grave. You understand? And things of this nature. I just don't see myself fighting for him. I don't think he's fighting for us. I have not heard him say that. I think he's a homosexual, magical mulatto that is put once again on top of our movement to distract and deter, and that's exactly what it has done. Every time a black man gets killed, there's a big hoopla, but then somehow or another our attention is distracted away from an actual dead man to someone who is alive, to someone who wants to be signed. Like this man on the ground, what is he going to sign ever again in his life? How is it that we can promote this man because you said he took a knee? There's no way that this man took a knee for me, for you, or for anybody else, especially not that man on the ground. What he does is what he does. I'm not feeling it. He can do anything he wants. He's a mulatto. Period. Mulattoes were put in place to destroy black people, and look what's going on right now. The movement has been destroyed first by Black Lives Matter. Then how do you turn a movement about a black man, which we thought it was about a dead black man? How do we pile up all of those bodies and stand on top of the backs of these dead blacks and say Black Lives Matter when we know now that it's a George Soros funded operation? So it is funded by our opposition. We cannot protest. We cannot demand for justice. We cannot live our lives and March for Justice is funded by those who are actually trying to kill us. This is a military operation happening right in front of our faces. It's designed to destabilize not only our economic system, but our social economic system. Okay? I want to see a mass march or a boycott, and things. We've called for boycotts every Christmas. How many times have you actually boycotted Christmas? We've called for a boycott against Thanksgiving. These black men get on TV every single year. Thanksgiving is about
90 seconds.
Getting their heads chopped off and kicked around. Every time these crackers come and overtake the village. That's what Thanksgiving and football is. That's what football is. That's what Thanksgiving is. Because they went in and stole everything, raped everything, killed everything, and they celebrated by kicking their heads around and putting their heads on goal posts or posts and kicking their heads past. You understand what I'm saying?
60
That's
seconds.
the type of sick things that go on inside of these white demons, Satan, inside of their minds. Okay? It's very serious out here. Why would they expect any black man in his right mind to stand up and cross his heart the Star Spangled Banner or the national anthem when it's about their murder? But every year we celebrate it. Every year we're in Christmas. Every year we're in these stores and they call it Black Friday. But if I say something about Black Power and chill, or that will never trend on Twitter. If I say something about
10 seconds.
Black Friday, that's not going to trend on Twitter. If I say Happy Black August, let's celebrate Black August instead of February, Is that going to trend on Twitter? Black people are trending when it suffices for the opposition. We're popular. We're backed by popular demand. Okay? We're in demand. We're being born at a higher rate now. We're living. We're going to school, and we're still in the same position. And the only thing that we can do is say that this half and half magical mulatto homosexual. Not me. I can't, and I won't. And I don't care if he gets a job. I don't care if, what is that going to do for black people? When do we stop jockeying for our own demise? When do we open our eyes and see what's going on? If you boycott the NFL, you're going to boycott almost all those black men that's playing. And that's the truth of it. But that's where I stand at with Colin, whatever he is. I don't know. He's he's not my favorite. And I know what he's doing. I can see him for what he is.
All righty. Thank you, Nikki. Man, Psycho, do you have anything you want to say?
I agree with most of what Nikki said. As far as see, all right, I could totally understand how Nikki has that position. I'm looking at it from different eyes. Again, me being an NFL fan and me actually, I actually go to a lot of these games, and so yeah, I got a little bit of stake in this, a little bit, so to speak. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I do know a lot of season ticket holders, and I do, like I said, attend a lot of games. I feel, and being that I'm a black NFL fan, I feel almost obligated to stand by Kaepernick on this, on the strength of he actually, like I said, he sacrificed his job and his main source of income for a cause, and it's I don't even see myself necessarily standing up for Kaepernick per se. I see me standing up mainly for the cause and his right to protest, because I feel like he's getting that taken away from him. And I don't like how he's trying to be censored. I fight against censorship. I can't stand it. And by them keeping him off the field, that's their way of censoring him. That's their way. If he's not on the field, he can't protest. They get to go back in the corner, suffer in silence. And this is them flexing their muscle. This is them, trying to put him in place and make him an example so the other niggas don't get too uppity. You understand? So I'm seeing this from different eyes, because I understand how these NFL people are and how they run it like a dictatorship. And this is pretty much, again, them trying to, put him in his place. And they coming down extra hard on them because, again, they got to make an example out of them. So I kind of just want to I feel obligated to stand with him on this. Even though I'm not even a Kaepernick fan. Like he never played for any of my teams. I don't really like him as a player that much, to be honest with you. So this it's about the message more so than him as a person. At least for me.
All right, I got you. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it a night because, like I said, I got a couple things I have to get finished. I have to get done. Get this money. I got to get this couple things done. So I'm going to go and take care of that. But I think that, I don't know. My schedule the next week is a little shaky. So, yeah. But the week after, y'all, I got some good guests coming for y'all. Just hang tight with me, okay? Let me say that. But yeah, for the next, as far as next week, I don't know, because like I said, my schedule's kind of all over the place and pretty busy. I think I should be able to do a show Sunday. Yeah, Sunday should be cool. Should be cool for me. But yeah, we might, of course, Psycho probably will do a show at some point. So of course, y'all look out for that. I want to thank the whole chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I want to thank everybody on the line. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. For everybody who will listen in the archives, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. As per usual, I love and appreciate Psycho and Nikki. And yeah, I appreciate Brother Ben X for coming through. Man, it's just good to hear a young brother. He seems to really have his head on straight. I have much respect for him for that. And like I said, he's doing a lot of really good things. So definitely make sure y'all check him out. I am going to put that video, I'll link that video on my Facebook though too. So y'all please check that out and let me know what you think. But yeah, and let him know what you think. But yeah, so without further ado, that's all I have to say about it tonight. But yeah, thank y'all. Love y'all.
All right. Peace. Black Power, fam.
Peace.